So today I wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about the concept of this one size fits all leadership that really doesn't serve us, it doesn't serve our teams, it doesn't serve our organizations because we're all so different. And I've had many years of leadership experience. And I will tell you, in the beginning, I used to think everybody had to be like me in order to be successful. And that could not be farther from the truth. So one of the concepts that I learned in early leadership is this idea of being reproducible, that the best leaders were reproducible, that other people could just follow us because we had our systems down. Well, that cannot be farther from the truth for me. I am not reproducible at all. I'm a splenic manifester. And first of all, as a manifester, we're not here to work consistently. We're not here to go and do. And so every time I tried to be consistent and be reproducible, I would get exhausted, burned out, frustrated. It just didn't work for me because as a manifester, I'm here to get these creative urges and ideas. And because I'm a splenic manifester, as a splenic manifester, I work with my intuition, which is really fast. I'll get an intuitive hit and I am gone doing that thing. It's really hard to follow somebody exactly when they get these creative ideas and then they're off running on something else. So I'm not here to do things to mastery like a generator is. I'm not here to do things over and over and over again. I'm here to really bounce around. And that's my design. So I knew early on, I didn't know why until human design, but I knew early on that I am not reproducible. And that way of leading really didn't work for me. Another really great example of the differences is in goal setting. And so we would go to these conferences and these seminars and I'd listen in and I could filter out the ideas that didn't really work for me, but I knew I would get this intuitive hit when something was said that, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I need to do. And because I have my heart center filled in my human design, I could set a goal and have the willpower to make that goal happen. If I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to move heaven and earth to make that happen. So I'm only about 30%. Only 30% of us have this consistent willpower. And so when my team members would come up to me at a seminar and they would say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, I believed them wholeheartedly, and they believed what they were saying wholeheartedly. I learned that in human design. I didn't used to think that, but now I really believe it. And that's because if someone whose heart center is not filled in comes up to me who has my heart center filled in, and they say they're going to do something, they wholeheartedly believe that because they are picking up and magnifying my willpower. They believe in the moment that they can do it. And another piece to that is the emotional center. And so when you have your emotional center filled in, you do need to take time with your decisions. And 53% of people have the center filled in. I do not. And so splenic, my intuition, is how I make decisions. But most people need to ride that emotional wave. You're not here to make the decisions in the high or the low. You're here to take that idea in and sit with it for a little bit until the high and the low are gone. And you just have this clarity. So if the idea gets better and better over the next couple of hours or days, then you know, yeah, I really want to do that. But if it goes away, then it's not for you. And so I would do coaching way different when it comes to goal setting these days. So if I have their human design, wonderful. But if I don't, I'm going to go on this instinct or patterns that they've showed me in the past. So if they've showed me that they set goals and then they go home and forget about them or change their minds, then I'm probably going to know they have an undefined heart center. And so today, knowing that 70% of people have their heart center undefined, I would probably say to them, you know what, I'm so excited that that's what you want to do. You know what, let's visit this a couple days after we get home and really solidify this goal for you. And in doing that, because I would just jump in and go, oh my gosh, we could do this and we could do that. And I'm sure I was overwhelming them, but I'm also sure that when they walked away from my energy, they were like, why did I say I was going to do that? So it's really important to kind of understand where other people are coming from, because before I would just think they're not cut out to be a leader, or they're not cut out to work for themselves. And that is not true at all. We all are cut out for success when we follow our own design. So let's talk a little bit more about goal setting, because I think this is so important. Some of us are not designed to be accountable. And I know that sounds really strange. I am one of those people. I don't need to be held accountable with my heart center filled in. But 70% of us do need that accountability. And so as a leader, it's really hard for me to hold people accountable. I am not an accountability coach. I am an alignment coach. It's easier for me to help people come into alignment with their own design than it is for me to hold their hand or hold them accountable. And so when I was being coached by someone in our company, it was really interesting, because at first I was like really excited to be working with a mentor and somebody who was going to coach me and help me be even more successful. And it soon dawned on me that this was not going to work, because number one, it's hard for me to be accountable to that consistency. And number two, the way I set goals is very different from 50% of people. Like 50% of us are here to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, time sensitive, all of those things. I'm not one of those people, and you may not be either. 50% of us are here to set goals based on how we want to feel in the process of reaching that goal, how we want to feel when we reach that goal. We don't want to know the details of how to get there, because that shuts us down. We don't want to know the details of what we're going to be doing once we get there, because that also shuts us down. How I want to feel free and independent, number one. Like that is so big for a manifestor. I want to feel free. I want to feel expansive. I want to feel resonance. I want to feel self-assured. I want to feel vital, adventurous. Like there's so many ways I want to feel. And when I think about feeling that way, the how shows up for me. And when I set a goal from, I need to do this many reach outs and this many parties and this many other things, it doesn't work for me. And it really showed up when I had a mentor and coach in my business, because every time we would get on the phone, she would say, what's your goal for the month? What's your goal for this week? And I knew she meant a measurable goal, like how many reach outs am I going to do? That kind of thing. But that just shuts me down. How I best work in my design is I need to start the day slowly. I have my workout, my quiet time, all of those things. And in those moments, like I get these creative ideas and these intuitive hits of who I need to call, who I need to talk to, what I need to do that day. I can't think too far ahead. With splenic authority, I'm in the now. It's so important for me to be in the now. What am I going to do now? Not what am I going to do a couple days from now, all this week. It's so important for me to be in the moment. And it's wonderful for me. It doesn't really work for very many people, but for me, I can get a hit of like 3 to 5 people I need to call that day. And those conversations will go so great because they came to me. They were intuitive hits. When I set out to call 25 people this week, I can call 25 people and get 0 results. But if I call the people that are downloaded to me, that's when I get results. And it is amazing. And I also used to feel really bad because I thought, I'm not going to be successful. If I don't make those 25 calls, I'm not going to be successful. That couldn't be farther from the truth. And I'm so grateful that with our human design, we kind of naturally know what works for us and what doesn't, but we can also get very conditioned by this one size fits all leadership concept. Like, this is the way we lead, and you have to lead this way or it's not going to work for you. That couldn't be farther from the truth. And so I wanted to open up this conversation. I would love to know from you guys, what things have you been taught on leadership that just don't work for you? Let's open up the conversation. I'd love to hear from you. So drop your comments down below and let's open up this conversation.